Hi, I'm Mo, and she gave me a smile I could feel in my hip pocket.
And I'm TJ, the podcaster who's got a hat, a microphone, and a laptop. That's it.
And this is...
It's still new to us, damn it.
Welcome to It's New Us, Damn It. I'm Mo, he's TJ, as we just said, and we're here to watch every movie ever made to be invited to parties.
I really delighted my family this Christmas with my knowledge of this movie.
Good.
And my knowledge of Your Name.
Good.
And Paprika.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's good. I did the same thing, but I was outside because they got annoyed by me, so I was just yelling like, Paprika! It's a movie about dreams!
Well, yeah, that's better than my scenario. I was talking about that movie while my aunt was making dinner, and she kept adding it, paprika. And by the end of it, our lasagna was just inedible.
Oh, damn.
It was bad, but
that
you know
what?
Terrible. It at least helped drown out, all the conversation of my younger cousins being more successful than me.
Yeah.
So that was nice.
That was nice, yeah.
Did you have a good Christmas yourself?
Yes, I did. This is after Christmas. I know we've been off a little bit, but it's TJ's fault. I'm just going to blame TJ.
Sure.
Yeah, why not? It's good. Well, also my fault, kind of. I keep on forgetting about the recordings. And
we're busy people.
Yeah, we're busy people, okay?
Yeah, we got lives outside of this, man.
Yeah.
Kind of.
We got movies to watch, things to eat,
yeah,
people to hang out with.
It's time-consuming stuff, man.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
What have you been up to?
Nothing much. I was working. I watched some movies.
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
I think we should enter
Banter time.
Banter time.
Banter time.
Banter time. Banter time.
Banter time.
Shut up. Okay. That's enough. Oh yeah, I watched some movies. Last night I saw the movie The Holdovers.
Ah.
It was delightful. It was hilarious and very heartfelt.
Okay.
Yes. It's just about Paul Giamatti in a boarding school. That's it.
That's it?
Yeah, Paul Giamatti in a boarding school over winter break. That's it.
Is he by himself? Is it like...
No, he's with a kid.
Okay.
And a cafeteria worker. And that's it.
Just those three?
Yeah.
Is this a Shining type scenario?
No Shining, no.
Okay.
No. Very heartfelt.
Oh.
Yeah, I always see Paul Giamatti stick out his eyes a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
He does kind of get the bug eyes sometimes. Great actor, though.
Yeah.
Love Paul Giamatti.
Basically, if you have Paul Giamatti in, like, a New England boys' school in the 1970s, you got it right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can picture that.
Yeah. The whole movie was shot, like, in the 70s, too. It even had the old, Rated R logo with blue and stuff. Like, the cover of that.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Queen of the Stone Age album. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. When we were there, somebody shouted out, "Look! It's the old logo!"
Oh, it was in theaters, you
yeah,
saw it. Okay.
In theaters, yeah.
Cool. This is a new movie, then?
It's a new movie.
Oh, I
it
hadn't
just
heard
came
of it.
out.
Okay.
It is very great.
Good.
Yes. I gave it 4 stars in my letterbox and said it was the champagne of movies.
Is this 4 out of 5 in this case?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Letterboxd doesn't do the 6-star method?
No, does not follow our method.
I see.
If you saw the movie, you would laugh at that joke, but you did not see the movie, so...
So that joke didn't hit at all?
That joke did not hit it.
Oh, well.
No, it did not. I saw Arsenic and Old Lace, one of my favorite.
Arsenic and Old Lace,
yes,
okay.
It's about Cary Grant is living with his aunts, and his aunts, turns out, murders people, but not in like a sadistic way. They do it out of kindness. You know, they take people from the street, like homeless people with no homes, they bring them in for the night, and then they murder them and bury them in the basement.
Huh.
Yeah.
Is this a true story thing?
No.
That's good, at least.
It's a comedy, so he has to cover up the murders to make sure nobody finds out.
Sounds like a farce.
And also he has to deal with his psychotic brother coming back and making sure that he doesn't find out.
We can all relate to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
That's really hilarious, yes.
Good.
So you check that out.
Okay.
And of course we saw The Boy and the Heron.
Yes, we did see The Boy and the Heron.
Yeah.
That's right. That was a lot of fun. There was a Miyazaki, his newest movie. We saw that.
Could be his last. We don't know.
Yeah, we saw that in IMAX, quote unquote. It was not like an IMAX theater where you're inside a snow globe, for lack of a better explanation. But it was shot. It was the IMAX cut of the film. It was an early advanced screening.
Yeah.
And when we got there was a woman in the row ahead of us who was mad that it was not the snow globe experience, and was saying that she didn't drive 3 hours to see this movie she's been waiting for years, not on an IMAX screen. And she left.
Yeah, with her
prematurely
daughter.
With her daughter.
Yeah.
And who was an innocent bystander as far as I'm concerned. And then, what did we make it? Probably 20, 25 minutes into the movie, and it was the dub version.
It was a dub version.
And it was advertised when we got the tickets that it would be the subtitle.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you know what? I just let it go. To be honest, on a big screen like that, I don't mind the dub version because then I can take in all the visuals.
Mm-hmm.
Then about 25 minutes into the movie, the film just cuts out, and everyone in the theater is like, what the hell is going on? And a manager from the theater comes in and says, oh, we ran the wrong version. So they restarted the movie with the subtitled version.
That was weird.
Fine.
That was fine. That was weird. I've never seen that happen before.
Me neither.
Yeah.
At that point, I would have just read
usually
it.
it's a van. Just like whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard Robert Pattinson was the Heron?
Robert Pattinson was the Heron.
Nice. Was Christian Bale in it too?
Christian Bale, yeah. He was the grandfather, I believe.
No, wait, the granduncle.
The granduncle. Yes, he was the granduncle.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
He's done a couple Studio Ghibli movies then, hasn't he?
Yeah, he loves working with Miyazaki. And also,
Nice.
like, everybody wants to be in this film because, you know, it could be his last film.
Yeah, good point.
You know, one of the greatest directors of our lifetime. So, yeah, might as well work with him before he either passes away or just doesn't make a movie again. Yeah, Dave Bautista was the Cockatoot.
Wow.
Yeah, Cockatoot King.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Let's see. Gemma Chan was Natsuko. Willem Dafoe was the Noble Pelican.
Okay.
Oh, he was the pelican that died.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yes.
Spoiler.
Mark Hamill was Grand Uncle.
Ah. Wow.
Kristen Bale was Sochimaki. Oh, he was the father.
Oh, Christian Bale
He
was?
was the father, yes.
Gotcha,
He was
okay.
the father. That's right. I was thinking about that. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, Kristen Bale was the father. Yeah, in The Boy and the Heron. Yeah. Such a this out there movie, and he made it like that to make sure it's out there, like so you don't understand what's it about.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely out there.
Yeah.
Very good, though.
Very good. Very
definitely-
stylish. I love the. This is his first film. He kind of got help at because he's so old that he can't really do that. So we got help from the guy who made Evangelion, Neon Genesis
Oh,
Evangelion.
yeah.
Yeah, so he got help with him, and it's really amazing. I love the fire scenes where it's the beginning where you can see him running, and it kind of looks like not translucent, but
Well,
like
yeah,
a
it's
painted
all
color. Yeah,
Yes, well, I think it's obviously to emulate kind of the shock, like when your body's in shock and
Yeah.
you know you can't really see straight. Yes, that was good. I know what you're talking about. The blurring effects,
the blurring effects. Yeah,
and like the sound does that thing too, where everything around is muffled, and you know all you can think about and concentrate on is his family. You know, getting to his mom. And,
yeah,
No, that was a good movie. Definitely recommended it.
definitely. Yeah, definitely.
See it in theaters
Same.
while you can.
Yeah, animated style is amazing. Still,
Yeah.
I love the cute little souls things when they.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that was nice. When
Yeah.
they free them.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a tough movie to understand, but honestly, like I don't think that is the point. Is
Yeah,
to go
exactly.
in and understand
that was
everything
never the
about
point.
it.
That was never the point. It's
No.
just he's just taking multiple things that he wants to say and just putting it in a movie, and then each thing could be a different thing, and then you just take away from it. Yeah.
And isn't that at the end of the day what a good movie is?
That's true. Yeah, yeah. That's Let's see. I think I've seen mostly Miyazaki ones. So I've never seen Spirited Away, which people
Oh,
consider his
wow.
best. Yes.
Even I've seen that.
I don't know if I told a story on here on the podcast where my aunt got us for us in like 2003 on VHS, but we had no idea what anime was, so we never watched it.
Mm-hmm.
So we just kept it in the same case and wrapped up still in plastic.
In VHS.
In
you
VHS,
said?
yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why do you think she got that for you?
I think it was this cartoon. That sounds fun. And then, yeah.
It's a great movie. You
Yeah, it
should
is a
really
great movie.
watch that.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen Spirited Away. I've never seen Spirited Away. Seen The World of Harrietta. Seen that one. I think
Yeah.
that's one of his weakest ones. That one has no plot and mostly is about, looking beautiful and things like that. But it could be deeper meanings and stuff like that. Seen My Neighbor Totoro. I've seen the Castle Castiglione, his first movie, which is amazing.
No, I haven't seen that one. I've seen the
It's
other
really
ones you
good.
mentioned.
I think I have it. I can lend it to you.
Nice.
Let's see. I've seen The Princess Mononoke. I've seen I've seen Princess Mononoke. I've seen Nausicaa Valley of the Wind. I've seen Howl's Moving Castle. I've seen
That one's I like Howl's Moving
Yeah,
Castle quite a
that's the
bit.
one.
That was Christian Bale too, wasn't
Yes,
it?
it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen Castle in the Sky.
Nice.
Let's see. I've seen Kiki's Delivery Service.
I haven't seen that one.
Very cute film.
I've heard that's very good.
Yes. Let's see. What else? I haven't seen. I don't know if he did Porco Rosso or that was somebody else. I forget. I haven't seen Porco Rosso. I think that's mostly it. Yeah, the only movie I haven't really seen is Spirited Away. I've seen The Wind Rises.
Okay.
It's supposedly that film. I've seen that. So I think one, either one or two, I have not seen yet. So yeah,
You still got time.
still got time. Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. Anything else you watched, TJ?
Yes, on top of The Boy and the Heron with subtitles, I did see Godzilla Minus One.
Ooh.
Outstanding movie. I am willing to say it is the second best Godzilla movie next to the original, but I will not shit on people that say it's the best and that it beats the original. It's just, to me, the original was so serious and so earnest in terms of it's like a real life response to a horrible tragedy the Japanese underwent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how that was part of like their healing process. This movie, Godzilla Minus One, though, I mean, it's just as good as the original in my opinion. It was outstanding. They've submitted it for Oscar approval.
Hopefully he gets it.
Honestly, yeah.
If it's nominated for Best Picture, that'd be insane.
That would be game changing.
Yeah.
And I'd have to watch the competition, I suppose, but
yeah,
I wouldn't
people
be.
Compared it to like Oppenheimer itself.
It's outstanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is very good. Very good movie, and I definitely recommend if you can seeing it on the big screen, definitely do so.
That's cool.
But I saw that. I got like 6 episodes left in Cowboy Bebop, and I have the movie lined up.
I've seen the movie, but I've seen the action scene. I've seen one action scene that's really cool.
Okay, I don't know anything about the movie. Let's see, what the hell else am I up to? I watched The Shining last week because it's like my new favorite Christmas movie.
Really?
I know it's not a Christmas movie, but there's snow in it, so
yeah,
fuck it. I turned it on while I wrapped my gifts, and it was kind of oddly peaceful.
That's cool.
Just an oddly peaceful moment of zen. Gosh dang it, I'm sure I watched something else that'll come. Oh, after I watched the movie of our podcast today, I watched it on a different streaming service than you, and the one I watched it on automatically rolled over to another movie. Now, I'm dumb. I didn't realize that Philip Marlowe was a character.
Me neither.
Like a Bond character. He's been played by like a dozen different actors. Including, I guess that makes sense, that Liam Neeson movie from last year, Marlowe. I didn't see it, but that's the latest version. But it rolled right over into the remake of The Big Sleep. I never knew that existed.
That's the sequel to this movie.
Yes.
Kind of like the, I don't know, spiritual sequel or direct sequel. I don't know.
But instead of taking place in LA, it takes place in England, and it's in contemporary times.
Uh-huh.
I did not have a chance to watch it. I didn't have the time that day.
Yeah.
But
was it the Robert Mitchum version? Or
yes.
Was it? Okay.
Yes.
So it was not Humphrey Bogart.
Not the original. I've always heard of the original. I've always heard I have to see that. I've heard, it's obviously got a very good reputation.
Yeah.
But it'd be fun to watch the remake. Like I said, I'd never heard of it having a remake, so my hopes aren't really the highest for it. But hey, it's Robert Mitchum, and that's always a good time.
Sure, definitely.
But otherwise, not too much. Been trying to do some reading and stuff.
Yeah. I have been reading Breakfast of Champions by Kurt Vonnegut. It's really good right now. I'm actually reading a lot right now.
Good.
I got a Bruce Springsteen autobiography.
Nice.
Called Born to Run. That's really great. What else am I reading? I'm rereading One Piece. I've decided to reread it.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's
I was just reading it. I was like, this is great. I gotta keep on reading it. So, yeah, I'm gonna try to buy all the volumes. Because I could do it on my phone. But I'm just like, I can't. It just doesn't connect when I read it on my phone or
nice.
on tablets and stuff like that. So that's mostly it for reading. I did watch Blood Simple, the first.
Great movie.
Yes,
that's a very good movie.
So the atmosphere of that movie is so great.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is, and you can see how it influences later movies of theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good. That's a great movie.
Yeah.
And it does not get nearly the attention that it deserves.
It's not. The atmosphere, it's amazing. Like
you liked it? Yes.
Barely any dialogue or story. Just like it's a very simple story, but just like the atmosphere of it all, just like amazes you how dark and creepy it can be.
Oh yeah. And you definitely see echoes of that in Barton Fink and Fargo and No Country for Old Men.
Yeah,
it's a great first impression by the Coen brothers.
Yeah,
love that movie. Nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Where'd you find, or what made you watch that?
I bought it one time.
Right.
I think it was on Criterion sale or something. Nice. No, I did watch it on the Criterion channel. I forget. Did I own Blood Simple? Yes, I do own Blood Simple. I do. Yes, I watched it. Yeah, I had it on my DVD and I decided to watch it. I have some more DVDs I still gotta watch. I still gotta watch Lost Highway by David Fincher.
Okay.
3 hours of this weirdness, so it's gonna be interesting. Yeah. But that's mostly it. I can't really think of anything else I'm watching. So, reading. Wrestling's still going good. pay-per-view this weekend. Gonna watch it. But I think that's it. I think it's the time to end banter time. Banter time.
Banter time. Banter time. Banter time.
Okay, it's over.
Movie time. Movie time. Movie time. Movie time. Movie time.
Movie time.
And our movie this week is
Farewell, my lovely.
Farewell, goodbye, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. Okay, yes, but
Yes.
it is Farewell, My Lovely from
Yes.
1975.
Yes.
You want to give us a rundown of who
Sure,
directed and
definitely. Directed by Dick Richards, or Dick Dick. Dick Richards. It's fun.
That's so good.
That was not an edit. That was not an edit thing. No, that was not an edit thing. That was us trying to high five each other.
Oh.
You got it. Dick Richards, or Dick Dick.
Is his birth name Richard Richards?
I have no idea. Actually.
No, he was born Dick Richards,
Dick Richards.
according to Wikipedia.
Yeah, he produced Tootsie and directed Heat, the 1986 version of Heat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so not that Heat.
Okay.
It must be terrible to have a film of the same name that's way better than the
I
other.
gotta say, I did not realize that there was an earlier version of Heat.
Yeah, it's probably not a remake. It's just Heat 1986.
Just another movie called Heat?
Another movie called Heat.
Oh, okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. Written by David Zilla Goodman. He wrote Logan's Run.
Mm-hmm.
And Man, Women, and Child. Never heard of
Okay.
it in my life.
Me
Probably really
neither.
bad. So I was Martin Sheen, though, so who knows?
I like Martin Sheen.
Yeah. Starring Robert Mitchum, amazing actor, of Cape Fear and the story of G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
So maybe he was based off. Maybe Robert Mitchum is G.I. Joe. Who knows?
Maybe.
I don't know if he played G.I. Joe, but he was in the story of G.I. Joe.
Well, why don't you look it up and then you'd know. And
Yeah.
knowing is half the battle.
Charlotte Rampling, The Verdict, and Orca, the killer whale knockoff of Jaws.
I'm aware of that movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. John Ireland of My Darling Clementine, and Salon Kitty.
All right.
Sylvia Miles, Midnight Cowboy, and Sleeping Beauty, 1987.
I was gonna ask if you caught her. She was in Midnight Cowboy.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask if you
She
remembered
was
that.
the drunk old timey.
Yeah, she
singer,
was
right?
a spinster
She was a
kind of.
spinster,
She was the
yeah.
one that she was nominated for an Oscar, I believe, despite being in the movie for 5 minutes.
Yes, I thought it was the femme fatale who was nominated, but
I thought it was Sylvia Miles. I could be wrong. We'll look into
I
that.
think it
while
is
we do
Sylvia
this.
Miles. Yes, I mean she acted great in that because I was watching it, and we'll get into it later. But I was watching it, I'm like, how the heck did Charlotte Rampling get an Oscar nomination? It was like, it doesn't seem like that great a performance of the femme fatale. But if it's Sylvia Miles, that makes way more sense actually because she actually performed great in that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So maybe mix those up. And Anthony Zerbe from License to Kill
Yeah.
and Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park.
You ever see his death scene in License to... Oh, we watched License to Kill together. Remember? He's the guy that gets his head pressurized. He gets put in that pressurization machine and his head explodes.
Oh,
It's the
cool.
most bloody thing that James Bond ever has shown.
Yeah, that was the Timothy Dalton one, right?
Yes.
Yes, great one.
I like that one.
And Gigi, have you ever seen Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park?
I can safely say I've not.
I have, and it's boring as shit.
No. How can it be boring?
It's just so boring. It's just my mom. Okay, so one Christmas she asked me, "Do you like Kiss?" I'm like, "Yeah, they're okay." And then she got me a Kiss box set for Christmas. You know, one of the things that you say like, "Yeah, it's fine." And then they're like, "Oh, you must really like it." So I
Yeah.
got a Kiss box set. Never watched it, but I watched the movie Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park, and I was like, "This is the most boringest movie of all time."
How? How can they be boring? The Beatles made entertaining movies.
Well, Kiss is not entertaining. It's all about a guy who replaces people in amusement parks, and the
Wow.
power of Kiss will stop him. And it's just like no action. They barely do anything in the film. I think they shoot like electricity from their hands or something. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember that was like the first film I've seen like it was like this is so boring. This is not a good movie at all.
Jeez, what was it called? Kiss Meets the Phantom of what?
Phantom of the Park.
Okay,
The thing is,
jeez.
there's no really Phantom of the Park. It's really just a mad scientist. So it should be like Kiss meets the mad scientist of the park or something like that.
How can that be boring? That's unfortunate.
Yeah,
That's
it
unfortunate.
wasn't entertaining at all.
You know what's not boring though was Phantom of the Paradise, which I was telling my cousin the other day at the Christmas party before I was rudely interrupted by his newborn twin babies crying. Can you believe that?
Yeah, what bullshit.
I know. But yeah,
Yeah.
go on.
Yeah. And the budget of the film was 2.5 million, and the box office was 2 million. Just the basic
Jeez,
facts.
wait, it lost money?
Like
Oh, shit.
50,000. It wasn't that big of a hit, I don't think.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah. Of course, this is Wikipedia numbers, so
These
you don't
things
know if it's
happen,
real,
though,
but-
I suppose, you know?
Yeah, definitely. That's who directed it, wrote it, and starred in it. TJ, what's this film about?
All right, well, folks, make sure you have a nice tall glass of water next to you because this plot twists like a pretzel here, so you might get thirsty. Set in early 1940s Los Angeles, Farewell My Lovely follows the burnt-out private investigator Philip Marlowe, who was hired by bank robber Moose Malloy, fresh off a 7-year prison sentence, to track down Moose's main squeeze, Velma, a former nightclub dancer. With some help from a nightclub musician named Tommy Ray, Marlowe tracks Velma to a mental asylum. But when he delivers this news to Moose, the big man asserts that the identified woman was indeed not Velma, and the search for her resumes. Meanwhile, another client, a wealthy man named Marriott, retains Marlowe's services as protection during a ransom money exchange which goes horribly wrong. Upon arriving at the site of the meeting, Marlowe is knocked unconscious and Marriott is murdered. LAPD officers subsequently inform Marlowe that Moose has fled to Mexico and that his search for Velma must be halted immediately. Instead, Marlowe defiantly investigates Marriott's death, a search which brings him into the home of Judge Baxter Grail, a political juggernaut in Los Angeles. Despite his power, however, Grail is implied to be a timid man, as shown by his inaction when his trophy wife Helen openly seduces Marlowe before hiring him to uncover Marriott's murderer and their motive. This undertaking proves dangerous, however, as he is immediately abducted by thugs working for the infamous brothel operator Frances Amthor, who indicates some vague connection to Moose Malloy and Velma. She drugs Marlowe and locks him in storage alongside the corpse of Tommy Ray, which Marlowe finds upon awakening to his horror. He manages to fight his way out of captivity, and while holding Amthor at gunpoint, catches a break when their conversation is interrupted by news that one of her girls is in bed with Johnny, a low-level thug of Amthor's played by a pre-Rocky Sly Stallone. This news whips Amthor into a frenzy, and she begins to beat the girl, Doris, until Johnny shoots and kills the enraged Madame. In the ensuing chaos, Marlowe, still in a drug-induced stupor, escapes the brothel and finds respite at the house of his friend and confidant, Georgie. The next day, Marlowe receives a call from Helen, who invites him to a party for her husband, at which Marlowe is offered a significant fee to arrange a meeting with Moose by the high-powered criminal Laird Brunette, who operates an illicit gambling yacht for high rollers off the coast and provides plenty of kickback money to the LAPD for clemency. With the help of Jesse Florian, a former nightclub dancer and co-worker of Velma's, Marlowe coaxes Moose out of hiding, and he even receives a phone call from Velma, which gives him instructions on where to meet her. Marlowe accompanies Moose to the rendezvous, which turns out to be an ambush from which the two barely escape. Worse yet, upon returning to Jesse's for answers, Marlowe and the police find her murdered. Now fully aware that he's some pawn in a bigger game, Marlowe appeals to Police Lieutenant Nolte's sense of integrity and sways several LAPD officers, who, remember, are on the take in 1940s LA, to his side. He concludes that he has to confront Brunette for answers, so he and Moose sneak onto Brunette's boat and work their way to the captain's cabin, where they find Brunette with Helen Grail, who is revealed to be Velma, who has worked as a prostitute for Madame Amthor while Moose was incarcerated and before she married Judge Grail to reinvent herself. She and Brunette have been methodically killing everyone who knew her as Velma, such as Tommy Ray, Jesse Florian, and Marriott. She opens fire at Moose, which prompts Marlowe to shoot her. Nolte and his officers arrive shortly thereafter, and Helen and Brunette are left to their discretion. Marlowe, exhausted, makes one final decision, to donate the money he earned throughout this ordeal to the wife and toddler son of Tommy Ray, and a pulpy noir jazz number serenades us as credits roll. In the end, some mild hilarity ensues.
Okay, thank you, TJ. That was great.
Good. That took way longer than it really should have.
Yeah. But you give every single detail. So
It's a dense plot.
It is very dense, yes.
Yes. This movie moves very quickly.
It does. Okay, so speaking of this movie, TJ, you chose this movie because it's one of Roger
Yes.
Ebert's 4-star films,
Correct.
which you thought was a very rare club. It turns out there's probably like 100 or 500.
Oh God, there's a lot. No,
Yeah.
there's a lot of 4-star movies, and you know what? That's fine. I did choose it as I was going through those movies, mainly because the poster with Robert Mitchum's face and a plume of smoke in the shape of a woman really caught my eye. It's a pretty cool looking theatrical poster. I knew nothing about this movie going in, other than it was a noir thriller movie, which again, that's the stuff that gets me. I love that stuff. And I saw 1975. One of my favorite movies ever is Chinatown.
Yeah.
And I can tell that just based on the year, this is right off the heels of the success of Chinatown. So I was all for it. And I do. I don't always agree with Roger Ebert, but I certainly respect his opinions and the way he backs them up. So I said, what the hell? Did you know anything about this movie?
No, nothing. I never heard of Farewell, My Lovely ever. We know of Robert Mitchum because of The Night of the Hunter, of course, which is the ending call of our podcast. Yes.
High five.
Yeah, high five.
Did you know that Philip Marlowe was like a literary character akin to like a James Bond?
I didn't. Yeah, I actually looked up some Philip Marlowe stuff for this podcast.
Good, because I had no idea either.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, he was created by Raymond Chandler. I believe he was a very famous detective story writer. Hard-boiled crime fiction genre. First appeared in the story The Big Sleep. He's wisecracking, hard-drinking, a tough private eye. Marlowe is quietly contemplative, philosophical, and enjoys chess and poetry. He is not afraid to risk physical harm. He does not dish out violence merely to settle scores. He's morally upright, and he's not fooled by the genre's usual femme fatales. So that's like his kind of ego and stuff like that. His background. Yeah.
Sure.
And stuff, yeah. Which is very seen in this movie with Robert Mitchum's portrayal. So, yes, the character Marlowe has been represented in 10 films. The Falcon Takes Over from 1942, which is an adaptation of Farewell, My Lovely, with the detective being the Falcon, who is a substitute for Marlowe himself, and George Sanders is the Falcon. Time to Kill, 1942, also the adaptation of The High Window, with Detective Michael Shane, who substitutes as Marlowe, and is played by Lloyd Nolan. Murder My Sweet, 1944, adaptation of also Farewell, My Lovely, and Dick Powell plays Marlowe, but no substitution. Okay, The Big Sleep, played famously by Humphrey Bogart in 1946. Lady in the Lake by Robert Montgomery as Philip, which I believe is a substitute of Marlowe. Oh, no, he is Philip Marlowe, sorry. The Brasher Doubloon adaptation of also The High Window by George Montgomery, plays Marlowe. Let's see, there's some more. There's Marlowe, 1969, adaptation of The Little Sister, played by James Gardner, who actually was the inspiration of the Rochford Files. So
wow, yeah, James Garner's a big name.
Yeah. The Long Goodbye, which is amazing. Elliot Gould plays Marlowe. I believe that was directed by what's his name?
Elliot Gould.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was directed by Robert Altman. Directed that one, I believe.
Wow, no shit.
Of course, Farewell, My Lovely, 1975, Robert Mitchum, and then The Big Sleep again in 1978 by Robert Mitchum, and then Marlowe, 2022. By Liam Neeson. Yeah, so 10 adaptations mostly. A lot of them just based off this movie.
Sure.
Or just based off this book, I should say. A story.
It's a good story. I mean, it's at least got all the elements that make a noir story,
Definitely.
right?
Actually, it changes a little bit because noir stories usually end in like tragedy. This one kind of doesn't end in tragedy because like he does one good thing, and
that's partially true, but it doesn't hurt. You still have all these otherwise innocent people that have been killed because they just happen to know this woman's identity.
Yeah.
And then I think it was kind of left ambiguous whether Velma died or not. I don't think she did, right? Moose.
No, I think Moose. I think they both died. Yeah, because they both
did. They?
Yeah.
I remember them both getting shot. I wasn't sure if they both died.
Yeah.
But regardless, I know what you mean. It's not like the Chinatown ending per se, but I do get a sense that it's a melancholy ending. So
yeah.
One of the motifs throughout this movie, and it's one that I loved, was Joe DiMaggio's hitting streak.
Yeah, Joe. Yeah.
It's not like we take it for granted these days. We can look at any in-depth sports statistics, right? Mm-hmm. But it's Philip Marlowe in this movie takes brief breaks to stop at a newspaper stand run by his friend Georgie, who's also kind of like his eyes on the street. And I love that character too. But he makes, baseball conversation with him, and he's from afar following this Joe DiMaggio hitting streak, and how it just seems superhuman. And then by the end, after, he's quote unquote won, after he's finished the job and, he can finally relax, he does, in his narration, he mentions that DiMaggio's streak was, it seemed like it was unstoppable, but it was ultimately ended by pitchers who were really unremarkable pitchers. They weren't superstars or anything like that. And I think that is actually very appropriate, because I think that ties into the ending of the movie, where you have this brunette gang, underworld figure who's seemingly untouchable. He's paying off the police and all that. And Marlowe and a few cops that decide to just do the right thing are the ones that take him down.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of where the DiMaggio analog was.
Yeah,
That's how I
makes
read
sense.
it anyway.
I think that makes sense.
Because then after he's playing that little coin-operated baseball game in the arcade, you can tell he's just melancholy. I mean, the whole movie, this character is so beaten down, right? He's so tired. He's just
tired.
exhausted, right?
I want to go to bed.
I know, and I love it. Like, they don't really give you explicit detail on the character's background. I'm sure that if you read the books, you can deduce more. At one point, he mentioned something about back at the DA's office, so it's kind of hinted he might have worked for the district attorney. But you just get the sense that he is, pardon the cliche, but he's getting too old for this shit.
Getting too old for this shit. Exactly, yeah.
What'd you think of the narration?
I thought it was great. I don't know how I feel about narration in movies. I know some people don't like it, because sometimes there's bad narrations, or sometimes the narrator itself is a bad narrator.
See the OG Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Yeah. The original cut of Blade Runner has a really weird voiceover or narration by Harrison Ford.
Yeah, he's unreliable. There's unreliable narrators. Yeah, definitely. But I think I like narration. I don't know why. Maybe because I just like it's like they're watching the movie with you, and they're like explaining it to you. That they're part of the movie, but also with you at the same time.
Yeah.
Something like that. But
well, this one there's a purpose for it. Not only just to help expedite the story, which, as you can tell, is very layered. There's a lot of stuff a lot of moving parts here. But it's also, at the start of the movie, we see Lieutenant Nolte meeting Marlowe in a hotel room by himself. He says, "Come alone," because Nolte's supposed to arrest him at this point. And so basically he's recounting the story of what led to all this, to Nolte to kind of make a plea, hey, come with me and take down this boat run by Anthony Zerbe, Burnett's the Burnett character. So I think it does serve a purpose. I do like the fact that, Lieutenant Nolte is just like sitting on the bed, like listening to him talk about Joe DiMaggio in this sex scene and like sex scenes and stuff with the judge's wife. And it's like, okay, maybe that's a little silly, but overall, I do love the narration, especially because Robert Mitchum's got the perfect voice for this type of movie.
You never really think about that, like when they're explaining the full details of anything in like movies and stuff, and it's a flashback. It's like, wait, somebody's actually just sitting down, listening to this whole story, and like parts he doesn't need to know, and it's like
right. Right, but like here's a couple of his narration bits.
Yeah.
The house itself wasn't much. It was smaller than Buckingham Palace and probably had fewer windows than the Chrysler Building. That's about the judge's house.
Yeah.
I sparred with the night clerk a couple of minutes, but it was like trying to open a sardine after you broke off the metal lip. There was something about Abraham Lincoln's picture that loosened him up.
I love that line.
That is a great line.
That was a great line, yeah.
The dialogue in this movie is so pulpy. It could fill
pulpy, snappy. So good.
I could taste the orange juice. It was so pulpy.
Yeah.
I loved it. And
I wish I took more notes of the dialogue itself, but I'll get into what was happening when I was watching this movie. But yeah, I wish I took more. But luckily, we got the quotes page to help us out. Yes.
I am going to work into my lexicon as much as possible. She gave me a smile I could fit in my hip pocket, like you mentioned at the beginning. That is such a great line.
What does that mean exactly?
I don't even know, and it doesn't even matter. You deliver it with enough charisma, and no one even thinks about it.
Yeah. Yeah, they got Miss Quayle. Geez, you're old-fashioned, aren't you? And Marlowe says, from the waist up.
Yeah. How about this one? I've been beaten up, slapped, shot full of hop until I was crazy as two waltzing mice.
This was not Marlowe. This is Billy Wolf. You're not a detective, Marlowe. You're a slot machine. You do anything for $6.
That's another
six
great
bits.
one. That's
Yeah.
another great
That
line.
was Harry Dean Stanton, who was
Correct.
also in this movie. He was an amazing actor.
Correct.
I have to see Paris, Texas.
I almost
watched-
didn't even recognize him the first time. I was like, the guy looks so familiar. He's just so young in this.
Yeah.
This is pre-Alien.
Pre-Alien.
What else? We saw him in.
What was he else in?
Was he in, we saw him in the 90s. That was the Wild at Heart. So
Wild at
obviously
Heart.
it looks different there.
You know,
but
he's in Pretty in Pink. You
Yeah.
know, he's in
He's a
so
great-
many movies.
he's a great actor.
He's one of the
He
greatest
does a
working, one of the greatest working character actors of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And he's the one detective that, if you'll recall, does not go with them to the boat because
Yeah,
he
he's just
doesn't.
like,
Fuck that!
yeah.
I'm getting paid.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
He also says, "I bet you $5 you can't find a state that not wanted in." When he sees unidentified thugs' bodies. I had $2,000 in my breast pocket that I needed at home, and I just knew the place. Oh, this one's great. Francis Amthor said, "I think you're very stupid. You look stupid. You're in a stupid business, and you're in a stupid case." Philip Marlowe was like, "I get it. I'm stupid."
Yeah, that is a good line too. There are little bits of humor in this that really do work
Yeah.
for me, and of course it comes down to the fact that Robert Mitchum is like the perfect. He's just like a sponge for all this abuse, you know.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning, he helps. They show him on this case to get this rich girl who's
Yeah.
run off from her parents, and she kicks him in the nuts before he
Yeah,
returns
kicks
them.
him in the knees, yeah.
Yeah, and he's just a sponge for all this abuse. He gets
Yeah.
shot up.
I
with
feel like this is
heroin.
like his how Rodney Dangerfield found his comedy bits. He's like, wait a minute, I'll just do that. And
Yeah, that's actually a good comparison.
Yeah.
He just gets no respect.
he gets no respect.
Everyone in the city knows him. Like he's clearly an institution
Yeah.
among the people with
Police,
power.
thugs
Right.
and
The
stuff like
police,
that, yeah.
criminals,
Yeah.
you know. He's obviously known and respected to the point, I guess, where even when they kill Marriott, the guy with the jade and the ransom,
Mhm.
that they don't bother to kill Marlowe. I don't know. You know, he's important enough. He can be used, and hired to do basically any kind of job, I guess. He clearly has a gravitas about him.
Yeah. There's a cultural personality.
Yeah, sure. And the world just feels very lived in, too.
Mhm.
I can see this being one story of this character's whole,
Life. Like, the one story in like a million stories. He has like probably like this,
right.
If something happens, people get killed, he gets blamed for it, and then he solves the case at the end and goes on to the next one. I have one more good line. Moose said, You a private dick? And he said, "No, I'm your fairy godmother."
Yeah, that's a great line. And I love the bit in the narration when he says, I was walking when a hand that as big as, or what did he say, like a hand so big I could sit in it, reached up and grabbed my shoulder
Yeah,
or
he
something.
said that,
Yeah.
sorry, yeah.
No, every bit of the dialogue in this movie is very well written. One more, actually, that I found here. This is when he, so he's meeting with the character Jesse Florian, who used to be a dancer, a nightclub dancer with Velma.
Yeah.
And she's kind of his, his first pipeline, basically, other than the picture he gets from Tommy Ray that turns out to be, misleading.
Yeah.
But he meets with her a couple times, and every time he does, he has to bring her alcohol, bourbon, and they sit and
Yeah.
drink it together. But this is one quote from his narration. He says, "I asked her if we could talk on the phone. A stupid question. How can I pour a fistful of bourbon on the phone?" Just all this. It's just, it's just
great.
so... It just lends to this smoky noir atmosphere. And I am a sucker for all of this.
Yes, and she was played by Sylvia Miles.
Yes, that's
Yes.
the Sylvia Miles character.
Okay, yes. Because I was always confused by that. Because so when I was watching this movie, I had to watch it twice because the first time I ate a hamburger before and fell asleep doing half of it.
As we are all want to do
Yes,
from
I
time
wanted
to
to do
time.
this. I ate a big hamburger and I was just like, wake up, watch the movie. And so I caught the end of it, but I missed like the middle of it. And so I watched it again later that day, and I watched all of it. So yeah,
Sure.
so in 2 parts. But I got confused of who was who and everything else. But yeah, but she was amazing. Not to spoil it on the rewards section, but she got nominated for the Academy Award for it.
For this one?
Yeah, for this one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And she definitely deserved that, definitely. Because I thought the femme fatale, who was played by Charlotte Rampling, I thought she got nominated. So I was thinking, like, I was watching her, I'm like, I don't think this is an Oscar-nominated worthy performance.
For which one? Charlotte Rampling?
Charlotte Rampling. Because I'm
Yeah.
like, she did great. She played the femme fatale amazingly, but, like, she probably played them, like, the same as all the other femme fatales and all the other, like, Marvel movies and stuff like that. nothing really stands out. But like if you saw Sylvia Miles do a thing, I'm like, oh, this is great.
She's outstanding in this.
Yeah.
She is very good. She comes across perfectly as this individual, desperate character who still is kind of, who kind of peaked in the past.
Yeah.
Only was able to find work because of her looks. You can kind of tell, she was objectified in a way and didn't really have any skills otherwise. At least that's how I read the character. She's got this seductiveness to her, though, all the same. And no, she's very good, and she's very entertaining to watch work with Robert Mitchum.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Moose.
Yes.
I love Moose.
Oh, yes.
So
Dick O'Halloran.
Dick O'Halloran.
Yes, who would later be, what's his name, Non in Superman's 1 and 2? He's one of the 3 Kryptonians.
Oh, this guy's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
He was on a podcast and he just started spouting random shit. It was great. Yeah, he was in the King Kong remake, Superman 2, and the movie Dragnet.
Never saw the movie.
Yeah.
There was a show, right?
Yeah, there was a show and a movie.
Yeah, Tom Hanks, right?
Tom Hanks and Dan Aykroyd.
That's right.
Yeah.
Who was he in the King Kong remake? I'm actually a big fan of the 70s King Kong.
Mm-hmm.
Not because it's great, just because it's, exists.
Yeah. I know Charles Grodin was in this.
Oh, yeah.
King Kong movie.
Oh, he's the equivalent of, what's-his-face? The Jack Denham character.
His name was Joe Perko. That was his character. Yeah.
Shoot, I don't remember.
Yeah. Wasn't that Jessica Lange's first role?
Yes.
Yes, it was, yeah.
And Joe Piscopo was an uncredited reporter in that movie. I had no idea.
Man.
Corbin Burnson was an uncredited reporter in that movie.
Damn.
Walt Gorney, that must have been intentional.
Of course, a boy, Dino De Laurentiis, produced it.
Yeah,
Our boy.
Right. Our boy Dino.
Our boy Dino.
Yeah, he's done a few of these movies so far, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't always produce great movies, but he produced movies that made money.
Yeah.
A lot of times, anyway. You ever seen the 70s King Kong?
No. I've only seen... I think I've seen the 2005 King Kong. I don't know if I've seen the original King Kong.
Oh, the original's outstanding.
Yeah.
Still to this day, it's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely recommend it. But anyway, Farewell, My Lovely, we went through it, in the synopsis kind of beat by beat.
Yeah.
What do you take? I mean, this is such a fast-moving movie.
Yeah.
What did you think of the plot? Did you think the pacing and the tautness? What did you think of all that?
I don't know. Like you said, it was really fast. I think I kind of didn't understand most of it because when I was watching it the first time, I think I got confused, what's going on. I'm just and then I watched the second time. I still kind of was confused. I got confused who the characters were and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's very fast. But I think that's the point of the movie, just being snappy and fast. I'm just trying to figure out what to say here. But I don't think it wasn't that great a mystery. It didn't really keep me intensified. I didn't know it was going to be the girl was going to be Velma. I didn't know that. But I don't know. I wasn't blown away it was her.
I wasn't blown away by the twist ending either, I would say.
Yeah.
But I still enjoyed it.
Definitely, yeah.
Because this movie moves so quickly, and because you don't really know much of Moose and Velma's relationship.
Yeah.
So it's I don't really know what his intentions are. Is he trying to get back with her to reconcile, or did she wrong him and he's trying to get even? Yeah, we never know, because
Moose is just I just want Velma. And
right. His Velma. My Velma.
My Velma, yeah.
Yes. So that might be partially why it doesn't hit, the twist ending didn't hit as strong. That said, I did really enjoy it, and I do love the breakneck speed of this movie.
Yeah, I think mostly it's the characters and the dialogue that we really enjoyed more than the actual
plot. The dialogue. Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny, because when I finished watching it, and I thought to myself, wow, that, what a great plot. And then, the next day I was wait, so I was trying to write the synopsis, and from memory, and I'm wait, what the hell is the ending about? So then I rewatched it. I actually rewatched the movie, and I understood it a lot better that time.
Yeah.
So that'd be my only knock against the speed of the plot, is that I think that eventually it makes the movie a little less memorable.
Yeah, because basically we don't really care about Moose or Velma. We don't care about them at all.
Right.
We care about the character of Philip Marlowe because he's so entertaining and he's trying to do the right thing. We care that he solves the case.
Yeah.
And he did. We don't care who's involved with the case mostly, but we care about Philip Marlowe himself.
That's very true. While I cared about him finding Velma, I didn't really care about the character Velma. You're right. That's a good way of putting it. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I think this film definitely is derivative of Chinatown. Again, I don't think if Chinatown had been a hit that this movie wouldn't have come out.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see the influence from that movie in this one because that movie as well moves or it's a very densely layered plot.
Yeah.
But the difference is that movie's probably 45 minutes longer.
Yeah.
So there are more times that the characters have to breathe and to flesh themselves out.
So we can relate to them more and connect with them more.
Perhaps. In this movie I don't really relate to anybody except Marlowe at times because really this character is just exhausted. That is the whole point of his arc here. He starts
basically they're just these caricature shows, the tough detective, the cops who are assholes, the femme fatale themselves, the femme fatale, the drunks, the hookers, all that stuff. The prostitute, which is caricature shows of old noir stories from the 1930s and 40s, which in I want to say Jackie Gleason, but that wasn't him. Old gangster films in the 1920s and stuff like that,
Sure.
Yeah. So they're basically just characters of that. And we're not supposed to really relate to them, we're just supposed to just look at them and kind of it's kind of like Dick Tracy, how who is Dick Tracy? He's just a guy who wants to fight crime. That's it. He doesn't have any attributes, he doesn't really have any characteristics or anything like that. You just know Dick Tracy is a man who is for justice and wants to fight crime. But you don't know his position in life. You don't know what he laughs at or if he drinks at all. He's just Dick Tracy.
We just know that he has a rogues gallery full of physically deformed weirdos that he is just obsessed with taking down.
Exactly. That's it.
Right.
That's kind of like what this is. We just know that Philip Marlowe has a case and he has to solve the case, and it's enjoying to watch him solve the case.
That's a good comparison. Whereas the Marlowe character in this movie, the only change that he undergoes is he gets just more sleepy. He does show some he's obviously very human. It's not like he's an emotionless person.
Yeah,
he's very human. The whole thing about
from the source material. He's very human.
Right. The musician Tommy Ray, his death really impacts him because he had previously visited with Tommy Ray's wife, who's now widowed, and their young toddler son, which you can tell definitely rattles Marlowe. But then you look at something like Jake Gittes from Chinatown, and the character, well, I don't know if I'd say he undergoes big sweeping changes. You can tell that there's some past trauma that's brought back.
I think in Chinatown, where it's he's going to change. I think because he's solving this case, he's gonna find true love, or he's gonna finally bust the case that can actually help people or something like that, and expose all this stuff, so people can be not be screwed by the government and stuff like that.
Well, then
but unfortunately,
he fails.
Once again, it pulls him back in because it's Chinatown. It's just you think you're gonna get a happy ending, but you don't.
And the moral of that story is just leave it the fuck alone. You're not gonna change it.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah. No. Yeah. Again, I actually really did enjoy this movie a lot, but it did make me just want to watch Chinatown. It's just I think that the influence this is a Dick Tracy thing where this to me strikes me as it was made simply to cash in on the success of the neo-noir movement that Chinatown started. It's a very competently made movie. I love Robert Mitchum, and I love actually the whole cast here.
Yeah.
But ultimately, there's a reason this movie's not talked about these days, I think.
Because above Robert Marlowe adaptations, it's not even the best one. I mean, there's the original Big Sleep, which starring Humphrey Bogart, which people love. The Long Goodbye, directed by Robert Altman, which is really great.
That's the one with Elliot Gould?
Elliot Gould, yes. Okay. Let's see. Those are more popular than that one. Definitely. Lady in the Lake, also another popular film noir movie, starring Robert Montgomery. So this is not probably the most popular one, but it's definitely up there. So maybe the fourth.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure. I'm not gonna rag on that. I'm not gonna at all say this is bad, but I wonder if maybe this is the third adaptation of this novel.
Yes,
for the big screen.
Yes,
I just wonder. I just wonder if maybe this one didn't have anything new to bring to the table. It was just to keep the movie relevant, perhaps.
Yeah.
You never know. It could be the 70s version of Nosferatu. It's a fine movie, but everyone remembers the 30s version.
Exactly, yeah.
That's the one that originally scared people, right?
Mm-hmm.
How about, what do you think of Sylvester Stallone showing up?
Yeah, that was a short little cameo. Yeah.
Does he have any words?
No, he has no words.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
He kind of just, there's a set piece to make sure that the woman who, the the mother, right? They call it the hen mother.
The madam.
The
Yeah.
madam,
Yeah.
yes, gets killed.
The
Yeah.
brothel owner.
I got kind of confused why she wanted to know about Moose. Then you said the synopsis like, oh, Thelma
Yes.
was
She used to be one of the
one of
prostitutes.
us. Okay,
Yes,
that makes
exactly.
sense now. Because everyone's like, why does this madam care about Moose so much?
Yep. I know
Funny
that's
about that,
see
yeah.
that was another thread that I was actually anxiously waiting to have wrapped up, and I did enjoy the payoff to that. Is why do all these people care about this Moose guy?
Yeah.
Why the fuck does everyone want Moose dead? You know the guy that first shoots at him in the opening. By the way, I
Yeah.
recognize that smile. His name is Burton Gilliam.
Burton Gilliam.
And he's credited in this movie as Cowboy. He is the guy from he's the guy from Blazing Saddles that sings "Swing Low, Sweet Chariot." I love that guy.
Oh
He's
my
such
God.
a dickhead in that
Yeah.
movie, but he's so good. And apparently he apologized profusely to Cleveland Little for having to use the N-word, which
Oh.
makes him all the more likable.
That's good.
But no, I thought that was funny just because it's such a quick moment when he
Yeah.
sticks out the window to shoot Moose in the beginning, and I
Yeah.
was like, that smile, it's the guy from Blazing Saddles, and sure enough, it
Yeah.
was.
So all this, like, basically all this, to wrap it up, was to make sure that nobody finds out that, I don't know, that they stole $80,000 from a bank back in 1932 or something, or 1940s, whatever this was, which is like equivalent of maybe $500,000 today.
Oh, it was a big score.
It was a big score, yeah.
And I think Velma was genuinely trying to reinvent herself, and she was having help, or she was getting help from Burnett
Yeah.
to kill anybody who could identify her as the dancer Velma.
Yeah, so that way she's not connected to the robbery,
Correct.
and also not
Correct.
connected to the Moose and her past.
Which is weird to me because didn't Moose already take the fall for it all?
Yeah.
Right? So what was the issue?
And maybe she could still be arrested for
Maybe
it.
she just wanted all the money?
Yeah. Well, she could still be arrested for it, right? Even though he
I
went
guess. I don't know
for
what the
it,
statute of limitations was in the
Yeah.
40s, but I mean, I feel like it was the 40s. Get away with anything.
Yeah, you could.
If Moose is that devoted to you, too, I mean, maybe she just didn't want to be with him. That's the sense I got. You don't
Yeah.
typically shoot people you want to spend your life with. So I do think, she was obviously the one trying to... She was just trying to rub out...
Maybe she thought Moose was trying to get her or something like that. Because you don't really know.
That's true.
She doesn't know Moose's motivation. Like,
That's
Moose
true.
wants her, not to, like, hurt her or anything. She just wants love. Because he was promised that in 8 years in prison or 7 years in prison that
Yeah.
he spent. So, like, she thinks, like, oh, God, he wants to get me or something like that. He wants revenge or something.
And maybe
so-
he does. I mean, we still really don't know what was in his
Mind,
It's assumed that it's to, and it
Yeah.
seems like it's to rekindle some romance that, he obviously is carrying a torch for her. But we don't know definitively, it's worth noting.
True.
The ambiguity is not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. John Ireland was good as Nolte.
Oh, yeah.
Sylvia Miles truly was great.
True. Harry Dean Stanton was great.
Yeah.
Especially
and
that line I read earlier where it's just like, you're like a slot machine. You pump out 6 bits.
that is a good line.
That's a
The
good
6
line.
bits line is great.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What else? We got Moose.
The prostitute that was sleeping with Sylvester Stallone, the actress's name is Rainbow Smith.
Cool.
But Rainbow, this is badass. Rainbow is spelled Rainbeaux, like the Cajun, or
like Rainbow.
French or
Like
whatever
Susie.
that would be.
Yeah,
yeah,
she was in
Rainbow
Yeah.
Smith. I think that's cool
That's
as hell.
cool, yeah.
I like that.
So 75, 76 Rocky came out. So this is like right before Rocky Mania happened.
Yeah. Oh
Wow.
yeah, just before.
Right before, yeah. So I know before this he was in The Wanderers. He was in Death Race 2000, which is Ron Howard's first film.
That's right.
Yes, but I think, yeah, before that, yeah, then Rocky hit and then became a megastar. Yeah. So that's interesting, definitely. Yeah, I think, we could go through it beat by beat, but we already did that, like, through the synopsis. And, like, yeah, I think we can give our final synopsis and stuff like that, yeah.
It's a fast-moving movie. We'd be
Fast
here
moving
all
movie.
night.
We can be here all night. Already an hour in. Yeah, but yeah. Let's get into our final thoughts then. Alright, for me, when I heard of this movie, I, of course, never heard of it. I like noirs. Noirs are amazing. I've seen Double Indemnity. I always like the realism of the sadness of it.
The good Billy Wilder movie.
The good Billy
that I was robbed of.
Yes. I've seen many other noirs, like, for instance, Blood Simple, which is amazing, in its atmosphere and everything. And, of course, this one doesn't really have, like, the atmosphere of Blood Simple and stuff like that, but it has, like, the fastness and the pace and the dialogue snappy and funny, and
the chain smoking, the drinking,
chain smoking, the drinking. The characters are amazing. Clothing. The actors are amazing who play them, and it's a really fun movie. It's really fun and really gives a good adaptation probably to the Marlowe character. Yeah, but I don't know. Is this the best of like the Marlowe movies? Probably not. But is this like the best movie? Best film noir movie? Actually, no, definitely not. But it's a fun movie. Otherwise, of course, we got a man, Robert Mitchum, kicking ass always, kicking ass always. So yeah, I would give this movie 4 out of 6 stars. It's a very fun movie. If you ever feel bored on a Saturday night or something, you pop this in, you have a fun time. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, I actually gave it a 4 out of 6 myself. We'll say 4 out of 6 glasses of bourbon.
Yeah.
Fistfuls of bourbon. How about that?
Yeah. I'll give it 4 out of 6 slot machines. How about that?
There you go.
Yeah.
I do agree with a lot of what you said. There is a lot to like about this movie, and the 4 out of 6 rating is not. Again, ratings we always say they're irrelevant.
Yeah.
There's a lot to like about this movie, but it is not Chinatown. If you want a truly great noir experience from this time period in filmmaking, go watch Chinatown.
Yeah,
it's ageless. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
It somehow takes the idea of municipal water allotment and makes it entertaining. Robert Mitchum is great at playing this character, not just from the hard-boiledness, so to speak, but straight up an exhausted character. Somebody who has just been through the ringer, who's seen it all before. So it's not like... That's another funny thing about the character is none of this comes as a surprise.
Yeah.
When the twist is revealed, he's just like, whatever. It is what it is. He has seen this all before. It's a procedural to him in a lot of ways. Aside from maybe getting doped with heroin and thrown in a storage
that was a great scene when he got that. I did like the hallucinations.
And he finds the corpse. That is a great scene.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like no other actor could pull the role off quite the way he does.
Sure.
Not to say they couldn't do a great job, but just his sleepy eyes. The guy's got naturally sleepy eyes. I don't know how to describe it.
And I don't know if before or after this, he was in the movie The Friends of Eddie Coyle, which is about like bank robbers who are just old men who are just like middle-aged men trying to support their families.
Yeah.
And it's just like just showing like just the life of crime is not glamorous. It's just like very old people just robbing banks and like drinking and like there's nothing exciting about it. Mm-hmm. They do jobs, they go home, stuff like that. So yeah, it kind of fits his mold perfectly, especially in the 1970s. Robert Mitchum, because like 1950s and 60s, he was playing all these great characters, in like Night of the Hunter and Cape Fear and all these guys, and then like in the 70s he's a little bit older. He's like in his 50s. He was like 53 when he played this film. Mm-hmm. He's supposed to be in his 30s, but you can obviously tell he's not that.
Oh.
Yeah, so he was like 53. You can tell like he's the perfect age of just like I'm done with it. So he just kept on playing like those types of characters, I guess, in the 70s, especially in the Friends of Eddie Coyle. So yeah, but yeah.
Oh no, and he is perfect as this character at this time too, because again, he's past his prime, right? He's a little over the hill just in terms of just naturally.
Yeah.
It's not like he can't handle the jobs at all. That's not the case, but he definitely he's not an action hero. He gets his ass kicked in this movie a bit, right? Right from the beginning with the girl kneeing him in the balls, and Moose muscling him over. Mm-hmm. He gets beat up. He stands his own. But all I'm getting at is Robert Mitchum is perfect for this role. The whole cast is very good.
Yeah.
The movie looks great, but at the same time, I think it kind of suffers a little bit from the syndrome of the private life of Sherlock Holmes, this, I don't think it's the look per se. It could stand to be a little smokier or grainier or more noirish, for lack of a better descriptor.
I mean, there was great shots. Let's see, the drug sequence, that was great. I think there was one sequence where it was a light and it transitioned to another scene. There was another light.
Oh, sure.
No, happened.
There are some great camera tricks. I just mean in terms of lenses, perhaps. And I'm not an expert on this. I'm just saying, I think, and maybe the version I watched wasn't the best definition for the movie. Who knows? All I'm getting at is it has the... What do I say? This rainy Sunday TV movie feel, or rainy Sunday movie that you catch on TV feel.
Okay, because the
does that
Sherlock
make
Holmes
sense?
Movies was like a TV movie, and this was
correct. That's all.
This was like an upper tier.
Not a made-for-TV movie, to be clear, but one of those movies that you'd see on a Turner Classic Movies or AMC on a rainy Saturday afternoon. It's just, what is this? It's some obscure-ish movie from the 70s or 80s.
Okay.
And it's not a bad thing. I actually love that aesthetic for some reason. It's a nostalgia thing, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
But I, too, like I said, I gave this movie 4 out of 6. I definitely thoroughly enjoyed it. I probably won't return to it any time in the near future.
I think I'm not in the near future, but, I may watch it again.
Oh, eventually, sure.
Yeah.
No, like...
Like, I feel like if I'm, like, bored and I see, like, this on somewhere...
It's a quick watch. I mean, it's only an hour and a half-ish,
yeah.
right? It's a quick watch. It moves fast. I mean, really fast.
Yeah.
So
I thought I wasn't be able to watch it twice in one day, and I did. And I was like, wow, okay, yeah.
Well, if you had... Hey, you know what? It's still... For a 4 out of 6, quote unquote, it is a strong recommend for me. If you find it, don't buy the Blu-ray. Don't go out of your way to pay extra money for this. But if you see it on one of your streaming services or on TV, give it a watch. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that was our opinion. Now let's find everybody else's. Or Roger Ebert. It's Ebert time.
Ebert
time. Ebert time. Ebert time. Ebert time. Ebert time. Okay. So Roger Ebert, of course, gave this 4 stars. He says, quote, "It is indeed the most evocative of all the private detective movies we have had in the last few years. It's not as great as Roman Polanski's Chinatown, which was concerned with larger subjects, but in the genre itself, there hasn't been anything this good since Hollywood was doing Philip Marlowe the first time around. One reason is that Dick Richards, the director, takes his material and character absolutely seriously, which he does. He's not uneasy with it, as Robert Altman was when he did Elliot Gould, when he had Elliot Gould flirt with seriousness in The Long Goodbye, and Richards doesn't hedge his bet." Yeah, I agree with that, definitely. This is definitely a more serious take on the character, unlike Robert Altman's The Long Goodbye, which is more funnier, because, like, he plays Philip Marlowe, like, he's, Elliot Gould's performance, I would say, he's more, he's funnier, like, but he's more, like, Last Like the Days of Cold than serious, no? He's just like, yeah, whatever. Like, it's set in the 1970s. He's more like hippie-ish. He's more doesn't care about society. Not like he gave up. Just like he's more ambiguous to society.
I think that's cool as heck, and that's how they do it in the Big Sleep with what's his face with Robert Mitchum here.
Yeah.
They make it take place in the 70s.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah, he's more like a hippie. He smokes weed and stuff like that. Yeah. It goes on to say, neither does Robert Mitchum. In what becomes his definitive performance, Mitchum is one of the great screen presences. And at 57, he seems somehow to be just coming of age. He was born to play the weary, cynical, dodgy, romantic Marlowe. His voice and his face and the way he lights his cigarettes are all exactly right and seem totally effortless. His trademark, and that's his trademark. In a good Mitchum performance, we are never aware he is acting, and it's only when we measure the distance between his characters and what we can see what he's doing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he says about Richards, Dick, and David Zidla Goodman. He says the story at the end with Marlowe trying to explain things to Nolte, and then the fast back to the beginning to let Marlowe elaborate on the story and voiceover. It is a strategy that is often distracting in movies. But not in this case, because it borrows from Chandler's own first-person narrative, and it gives great one-liners.
Nice.
And then he goes on to say, "Farewell, My Lovely" is a great entertainment and celebration of Robert Mitchum's absolute originality. It also announces the arrival of Richards as a promising new American director, which doesn't really happen. He goes on to say, like, his Culpeper Cattle Company in the last half hour of Otherwise Uncertain Rafferty and the Gold Dust Twins had an interesting way of seeing things, and now here is a totally absurd piece of work. Yeah, I guess those are his other movies. Those are some great movie titles, though. The Culpeper Cattle Company and the Rafferty and the Gold Dust Twins.
That is fantastic.
That is great. Most of the time, private eye stories have no meaning at all, unless it is in the way the heroes behave in the face of most unsettling revelations by human nature. This time, Philip Marlowe behaves very well. End quote.
All right.
Yeah, so kind of like a synopsis of what we just said, But, he probably was more entranced by it because he probably loves film noir more than we do. He probably has a greater history and understanding of it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was what I have a new segment, though.
Oh.
So, I have taken quotes from Letterboxd itself of this movie. Not a lot of great ones, I would say, but it's really fun, though, sometimes.
Okay.
So, for Letterboxd score, this was given 3.4 out of 5 stars. These are some of the bad reviews. 1.5 stars These hoes be doing research. I'm these hoes.
Wow.
1.5 stars. Another 2-star review.
What the hell
Grandpa.
does that mean?
I have no idea. A 2-star one. Grandpa, it's time for your pill. I can confidently say I've never seen a shittier detective get paid so much to be useless. And then a shit emoji. By
jeez.
G. Kelps, and that previous one was by W. Thartig. 2 stars by Rafi Nakashin. More like Good Night, My Lovely, because it's so boring. And this is a 5-star review by Summer13. Want to watch, forgot what happened. 5 stars. It's big.
Wow, that kind of sums up what we said about
Yeah.
how you kind of lose it as you go.
Yeah, you kind of lose it, yeah. Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah, so that was other people's opinions about the film. Let's go into awards season. Dun, 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 dun. So this was not nominated for Best Picture at all. Was nominated, of course, for the Academy Award for Best Actress in a Supporting Role by Sylvia Miles. And I believe, let's see, the Best Supporting Actress of that year was Lee Grant in Shampoo, Ronnie Blakely in Nashville, Sylvia Miles in Farewell My Lovely, Lily Tomlin in Nashville. I gotta rewatch Nashville. I watched it one time. I was so
Heard it's
distracted.
good.
It's really good. Yeah, it's supposed to be Robert Altman's magnum opus.
Yeah.
Brenda Vaccaro in Jacqueline Suzanne's Once Is Not Enough, and of course, yeah. So those were the nominations and the winner. I've watched a little bit of Shampoo, but I haven't finished it, so I gotta rewatch that. Okay. And also was nominated for Edgar Allan Poe Award for Best Motion Picture by David Zela Goodman. I guess that's a writing award. Okay, Best Picture of that year was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Barry Lyndon, Dog Day Afternoon, Jaws, and Nashville. So some fucking heavy hitters right there.
Yeah.
I don't know any film that could be replaced by Farewell My Lovely. I don't know. This is some fucking heavy hitters, yeah. So, what do you feel about One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest winning that year? I don't know if you've
It's
seen
an
it.
outstanding movie.
It is a great movie,
Yeah.
but look, like you got Barry Lyndon, which is a masterpiece.
I haven't seen Barry Lyndon.
I know.
I told you I used some Amazon
Yeah.
gift cards. I just got that gift set. That's the one that I was most excited for.
Yeah, then you
Because
got
I
Dog Day
haven't seen
Afternoon, which I haven't seen. But
And rest in peace to Ryan O'Neal.
Ryan on it, yeah. Yeah. Dog Day Afternoon, you got Jaws, Nashville. Could this been a year that like a movie like Jaws won it? Could this been a year?
No, the Academy wasn't ready for it. I mean, if you...
But this Jaws, it's
Oh, I gotta
Jaws,
say,
man.
Jaws is like the perfect movie, too.
Yeah.
That's tough, man, because I do love... I'm a big fan of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest as well.
Yeah.
So that's tough for me to say. But yeah, Jaws is infinitely more watchable,
Yeah.
right? I mean...
But you watch One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, you get amazing performances from like Jack
Oh, it's
Nicholson.
incredibly
Yeah.
watchable. Okay, fine. Which one am I more likely to rewatch? It's Jaws.
Jaws, yeah.
Jaws is the shit. I watch it at least once a year.
Yeah.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, though, I have no problem with winning the Academy Award.
Yeah.
It's an outstanding movie, and if I'm not isn't that the one that made Nicholson a star?
No, he did Easy Rider in the 69.
Was he the star of it though? I've never seen
No, that
it.
was Pete Fonda, but he helped direct it and stuff.
Yeah, it was Peter Fonda and Dennis Hopper,
Dennis
right?
Hopper, yeah.
Okay.
Like he had a part in directing it or producing it. Because
Okay.
he was involved with the Monkees. And he helped produce Head, I believe, the film they did.
Yeah.
And then that started him off into the career of Easy Rider. Then he did Carnal Knowledge in 1971. I
Yeah.
think that was his first major one.
Okay.
I don't know when Five Easy Pieces was. This could have been 1975 also. I forget. But yeah, but 70s was like, Nicholson.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, some fun facts. Marlowe was in his 30s, but Robin Richard was in his 57 when he played the role. The film spent several days shooting on location at Harold Lloyd's estate, the great silent actor, who I think was a racist. I'm not sure. Do not quote me on that. But I think he has some problems. When Mitchum goes to meet Rampling at her place, the two are actually relaxing in Harold Lloyd's office or den. The filming of Farewell My Lovely was a trip down memory lane for Robert Mitchum. The movie brought him back to the derelict neighborhoods he knew decades prior when he was a poverty-stricken teenager. One night, as Mitchum handed money to vagrants on the street, his attraction attracted the attention of an old beat cop on patrol. The officer took a look at him and said, "So you're back."
Huh.
So that's fun.
Nice.
And of course, Sylvester Stallone's last film before his appearance in Rocky was this movie.
All right.
Yeah. Man, I want to Sylvester Stallone was so hyped to be acting with Robert Mitchum. He's just like, oh my god, I'm with Robert Mitchum.
It'd be pretty. Oh my god, I'm with Robert Mitchum. I can't believe it, man. I'm in a movie with Robert Mitchum. Yeah, that's probably what he said.
Probably exactly what he said. And Robert Mitchum was like, what the fuck are you saying? Where's my whiskey, damn it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, TJ, that was Farewell My Lovely. It is now time for the final thing.
The final thing.
The final thing.
Final thing.
The
Final thing. Final thing. Final thing. Final thing. All right.
Okay. TJ, what is the final thing for this day?
We went back to the well and kept it easy here. We got to name your film game. Name that film game, rather. Pretty straightforward. I have 10 clues about a movie. And I think they get increasingly easier. Basically, once you have a guess for this movie, let me know so I can lock you in at that clue, but don't blurt out the name so that people at home can play along should they like. You can write down, you can type it or whatever. Just no changing it, okay?
Alright.
Are you ready?
Sure.
This is real straightforward here. Will we get in trouble if we play background music?
I don't think so, as long as it's like duty free or something. Whatever they fucking call it.
Oh, royalty free?
Royalty
Let's
free,
see.
yeah.
Let's just search royalty free.
Royalty free background music. Do royalty free jazz background music.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Jazz. I feel like, how can you own jazz?
Yeah.
Jazz is like, I don't know, man. Jazz is great.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. It's probably gonna be like cafe jazz.
Yeah.
I don't care. I love it. I love it. All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, name that film. Clue number 1. This movie was released in 1982.
Okay. 1982.
Mm-hmm. Clue number 2. This movie was based on a 1938 novella by John Campbell.
Okay.
Clue number 3, and this is a fun one. While the music in this film earned the composer a Razzie nomination, some of the score that was unused was later used in a Quentin Tarantino movie that won the composer an Oscar.
Ooh.
Yes. A Quentin Tarantino movie from the 2000s. I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
2000 on.
My guess, Kill Bill.
All right. Clue number 4.
Not Kill Bill.
While there were plans for a sequel to this movie, planned to be released in the late 1990s, with the director and the star actor set to return, this plan ultimately fell through, and a video game for the PlayStation 2 and PC served as a direct continuation of the story.
Damn, this is a hard one.
Okay. Well, good. The other ones you made were too easy, I think. All right. Clue number 5. The special effects makeup designer on the film worked non-stop to the point where he was eventually hospitalized for exhaustion. During his recovery, special effects legend Stan Winston helped out on the film while refusing to actually take credit. He received a special thanks in the credits, though, anyway.
1982, based on a movie, based on a book. It was going to be a sequel, but there wasn't one, and it was a...
Shoot. There we go.
Hey. It was supposed to be, it's based on a book, supposed to be a sequel, but that didn't happen. It was released in a video game for the PS2.
That's right.
It does a lot of makeup, and...
You don't get time to just workshop this, okay?
Okay, fine. Give me one then.
All right. Clue number 6. This movie was released on the same day as Blade Runner and during E.T.'s monumental box office run. As a result, the movie suffered financially and critically at the time, but has since become a cult favorite. This will get easier. I think you'll get this.
Alright.
Okay. A cult favorite. This is good. I like this.
I like this.
Yeah. Clue number 7.
If the game's not entertaining, this music is. So.
That's right.
Yes.
Clue number 7. The only female presence in the cast is a computer program's voice, which is provided by Adrienne Barbeau.
So hard. I have no idea what this movie is.
All right, well, let's see if this one helps.
All right.
This is tougher. I made this purposely tougher because you've gotten all my other ones.
All right.
So I wanted to had to up it a little bit. Clue number 8.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in the home stretch
We are
here.
in the home stretch.
Clue number 8. A prequel with the exact same name as this film was ultimately released in 2011 to a lukewarm response by fans and critic. A prequel in 2011 with the exact same name. Okay?
No idea. The exact same name. It's 1982, so it's not Aliens. That was 1986.
We'll see if you can get it from the last 2 clues.
All right, give me the last
Okay?
clue, yeah.
Clue number 9. And this one should have been earlier. I apologize. This movie's director has said that this is his favorite of all the movies he's made. So again, it's his favorite, was not a hit at the time, but became a cult favorite. All male cast, except for the computer's voice.
Except computer's voice. It's not
A
Dune.
computer program's voice, I
It's
should
not
say.
Dune. That was an all-male cast.
Let's see if this last one I think will open the floodgates for you. Are you ready?
Sure.
And there's no harm. Like I said, I don't feel bad.
Yeah.
You guys, you should see him. He's very upset right now.
I am very upset. I'm so angry.
Yes.
If I had a can, I'd be like in that little rascal scene where they tell Darla that Alfalfa doesn't want to see her anymore. She just crushes the can. That's me right now.
Okay. Yes. No. That's actually a really good comparison.
Yeah.
But no, this is the final clue, and hopefully it opens the floodgates for you. This movie may be considered a remake as well, as there was another version from the 1950s. The original
Got it.
was briefly shown
Got
in
it.
1978's Halloween,
Got it.
with which this film shares a director.
Got it.
There you go.
Locked in.
All right.
Jeez, that was hard.
I
Oh my
had
God.
to up it a little
That was
bit.
hard.
I had to up it. So, what movie is shown to the children in the movie Halloween and was later remade in 1982?
It was The Thing.
It was The Thing. Very good.
Jesus, that was hard, man.
I had him sweating here.
I know. I was just like, Jesus, what is
I
this?
had you sweating here, but no, that's
If you would have said like before, like a remake of the 1950s, I would have been like, got it. It's The Thing.
that's why I didn't.
Yeah,
That's why I
exactly.
didn't drop that. I didn't.
Yeah.
I purposely left the name of the novella. Not like a lot of people know the novella. It's called Who Goes There.
Yeah.
That's why I left that out. But yeah, the Rob Bottin, who made the effects for the monster, worked like 180 days straight, I believe. Like it was some
Yeah.
ridiculous number of days, like 7 days a week, to the point where he had, and I left some of this out too. He had not just exhaustion, but pneumonia, double pneumonia. I didn't know there was a
Jesus.
thing. Double pneumonia and an ulcer. And that's why he was hospitalized, and Stan Winston helped out and created the Dog Thing character.
That's cool.
This movie opened directly against E.T. and Blade Runner, and apparently the nation was undergoing a recession and just not very good times. So E.T. was seen as like this fun escape,
Yeah.
whereas like the Thing is super depressing
Yeah.
and ends with a real down note.
Definitely.
So people weren't really vibing with it at the time.
Yeah.
And it really sidelined Carpenter's career.
It did.
He was supposed to do Firestarter, but got fired from it.
Oh,
After the
really?
bad, which actually may have helped him because,
Yeah.
well, in the long
after
run.
that, he did. We can probably stop the jazz music now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would have made Firestarter better.
Yeah. Because after that, 1982, he did They Live 87, right?
Yes.
Did he do something
Yes.
before that?
Probably. Because, like, they say, like, I read that, it derailed his career. Obviously, he bounced back.
Yeah.
But, like, things like Prince of Darkness and
Yeah.
some of his later stuff wasn't as mainstream,
Mhm.
I don't think.
Yeah. Okay, so he did Christine in 1983.
Christine, yes.
Yeah. Then
yes.
he did They Live in 1988.
Yes.
What did he do before that? Oh, no, he did Big Trouble in Little China, 1986.
There you go.
Yeah, so he had some hits.
Escape from L.A. somewhere in there?
That's from 1996.
That was way later, eh?
Yeah, so Escape from New York was 1981.
Okay. I knew that was before the thing.
Yeah. Mhm.
I didn't know
Actually,
how
he
much...
did Starman, 1984.
Starman. Nice.
Yeah.
I actually didn't realize how much later Escape from L.A. came out. I never saw that movie.
So you got like a string of hits. You got Halloween, you got The Fog, Escape from New York, and you had let's see, you had The Thing in 1982, then Starman.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, you had The Thing, Christine, Starman, Big Trouble in Little China, Prince of Darkness, which my guess is not the best of his filmography, but people really like that movie.
I meant to watch it this year,
Yeah.
Halloween time, but I didn't.
Yeah, I think mostly because of the effects of it. Mostly, maybe the story's not that good. And
hey, Donald Pleasance too, though.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, then you have Lay Live 1988.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then kind of goes down in the 90s, In the Mouth of Madness 94, and then
That's the one I
unfortunately
couldn't think
Escape
of,
from
yes.
LA, 1996.
I never saw it.
That's one of my coworkers' favorite movies. He watched it so much.
Ironically, or no?
No, not ironically. Like I was like, "Do you like the basketball scene?" I was like, "Yeah."
Doesn't he surf too?
He surfs in it, yeah, and it's like the worst green screen you've ever seen before in your life.
Oh boy.
It is bad. Okay, well, if you guys did enjoy the game, I hope you enjoyed the royalty-free jazz music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you didn't enjoy the game, fuck yourself. I mean, tune in next time. We'll
Tune
do
in
better.
next time.
Don't fuck yourself.
Don't fuck yourself. Yeah, but that was a hard one. Thank you, TJ, for doing that. And if you guys have a better suggestion for a game or better background music suggestions, please comment or tweet at us at @it_damn_it or go on our Facebook page. It's Still to Us, damn it.
Sure.
Or Still to Us, I should say. So yeah, so that was the final thing. The final thing. Final thing. Thing.
Literally the final thing.
Yeah, literally the final thing.
Yeah.
But actually not really the final thing. Because the final thing would be spinning the wheel.
Wheel, yes.
Spin the wheel, make the deal. Let us see what the next movie will be, and hopefully it won't take us another month to release another episode.
It won't. We'll be
Hopefully
better.
it won't. I just gotta remind myself. Okay, here we go. Spin the wheel, make the deal. Who we got? Hoping for Alter States. I really want a fucked up one. Oh, we're going targets. With I believe it's Peter Bogdanovich. Or
Nice.
Yes. I
Yeah.
forget who directed it, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be bloody.
All right, I look forward to it.
Get ready for targets, people.
I know nothing about it.
Yes. Okay, well, that's be it for us. If you guys like us, please like, subscribe, rate us on SoundCloud, Spotify, and YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please go to our Twitter for new episode updates at @it_dammit and our Facebook page for It's Still New to Us. And if you like the show, respond to us, invite us to parties, stuff like that,
Yeah.
Tell us what to do.
We're
We're submissive.
We can talk about Clifford.
Yeah. We need to talk about Clifford, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And sure, other podcasts have talked about Clifford, but I think we did it better. I think we did the best. Definitely. Okay, so I guess that's it for us. I'm Mo, and I'm also a slot machine that gives out 6 pence. And that is TJ.
And I'm TJ, and farewell, my lovelies.
Farewell, you lovelies. Okay, see you guys. See you next time. Bye. Let's have Robert Mitchum play us out.